What if the money you're diligently saving for retirement in your 401k or IRA is sitting on a tax time bomb? What if all that growth you have seen over the years is only partly yours, with the other half just waiting to be claimed by the government? And what if the next market crash could wipe out a decade of your hard earned gains right before you need that money most? For millions of Americans, this is not a what if situation, it's their reality. They are saving in accounts that are completely exposed to both market risk and potential future tax hikes. But what if there was another way? A way to build a pot of money that grows without being taxed every year and then access it tax free when you need it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get tax free cash with a powerful but often misunderstood policy that could seriously change how you build and protect your wealth. For decades, we have all been told the same thing: max out your 401k or traditional IRA, get a tax deduction now, and worry about the taxes later. It sounds great in your 20s and 30s, but it can really create a huge problem for you in retirement. The money in those accounts isn't all yours. A big piece of it belongs to the IRS, and they'll be there to collect their share the moment you start taking it out. This is the tax time bomb. Nearly every dollar you take out of a traditional 401k or IRA during retirement is taxed as ordinary income. Think about it. With the national debt where it is, it's likely that tax rates in the future could be much higher than they are today. You are saving money, but you might also be growing a future tax bill right alongside your nest egg. And it's not just about taxes, it's also about control. With traditional retirement accounts, the government tells you when you have to start taking money out. These are called required minimum distributions or RMDs. Whether you need the money or not, you are forced to withdraw it and pay the taxes, which could push you into a higher tax bracket and even make your Medicare premiums go up. And then there's the market risk. If you were getting ready to retire in 2008, you saw what happens when the market crash hits at the worst possible time. Years of savings can get crushed in months, forcing you to either delay retirement or sell your investments at a loss just to have some income. The conventional path leaves you vulnerable, taxed, and with a lot less control than you think. You've played by the rules, but the rules might just be stacked against you. So, if the old way has all these problems, what's the alternative? Let's talk about a solution. What if you could grow your wealth in an account that tackles all these three issues: taxes, market risk, and control? Imagine an account where your money can grow based on the gains of a stock market index like the S&P 500, but it is completely protected from market losses. Imagine that growth compounding year after year without you paying a dime in annual taxes. And then, when it's time for retirement, you can access that money completely tax free without the government forcing you to take it. This isn't some financial fantasy. This is exactly what a properly structured and funded life insurance policy can do. Specifically, we are talking about an indexed universal life insurance policy or an IUL. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance? Isn't that just for when you die? That's a huge misconception. When it's designed the right way, an IUL acts less like traditional insurance and more like a private, tax free savings machine. It's a strategy the wealthy have used for years to protect their money from taxes and market swings, and it's available to anyone who qualifies. Let's break down how it actually works. An IUL is so powerful for generating tax free cash because of three key features. First, the growth engine. When you pay premiums, part of it covers the insurance costs and fees, and the rest goes into your cash value. This cash value isn't directly invested in the stock market. Instead, its growth is tied to a market index like the S&P 500. When the index goes up, your account gets credited interest, often up to a cap rate, say 10%, or even higher depending on the company and the economic environment. Second, and this is the game changer, is the safety net. The best part of an IUL's growth is the 0% floor. If the market index your policy is linked to has a negative year, if it drops 10%, 20%, or even 40% like in 2008, you don't lose any money due to the market crash. Your cash value is simply credited 0% for that period. It's important to remember that policy fees and the cost of insurance are still deducted, so your cash value can decrease a little, but you are completely protected from the market losses themselves. This feature helps eliminate the risk of a market crash wiping you out right before retirement. And the third piece is how you get your money: tax free access through policy loans. This is the secret to the tax free cash. Once you have a healthy cash value built up, you don't withdraw it. That could create taxes. Instead, you take a loan from the insurance company using your cash value as collateral. And because it's a loan, the IRS does not see it as taxable income. You can use this money for anything: retirement income, wedding, kids' education, or an emergency without cutting a check to the government. Most policies are designed so you don't even have to pay the loan back. The balance is just settled with the death benefit when you pass away. But a word of caution: if you borrow too much and let the policy lapse, that outstanding loan can become a major taxable event. This combination of tax deferred growth, protection from market loss, and tax free access is what makes a properly structured IUL a financial powerhouse. So, how does an IUL stack up against something you might know better, like a Roth IRA? Now, both IULs and Roth IRAs can give you tax free income in retirement, which is why people compare them. A Roth is a fantastic tool, but it has some serious limitations. The government limits how much you can put in each year. And if you make too much money, you are not allowed to contribute to a Roth at all. Though some people use a backdoor strategy to get around this. An IUL has no IRS imposed contribution limits. This makes it a great fit for anyone who wants to save more aggressively for a tax free future. Another key difference is access. With a Roth IRA, if you touch your earnings before age 59 and a half, you'll usually get hit with taxes and a 10% penalty. With an IUL, you can access your cash value through loans at any age for any reason without any penalties. And just like a Roth IRA, IULs have no required minimum distributions, which gives you total control. Now you're probably thinking, hey, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? And you're right to be skeptical. The catch is that an IUL is a life insurance policy and it has costs like the cost of the insurance itself and administrative fees. This is why I keep saying properly structured. To make it a wealth building tool, an IUL has to be set up with the lowest death benefit the IRS allows and funded with the maximum premium possible. This keeps costs down and pushes cash value growth. This is not a DIY product. You need an expert to design it correctly, or the fees can eat up your returns. It also isn't for everyone, as your health and ability to fund it long term are critical factors. Let's make this real. Think about your retirement money in two different buckets. Bucket number one is your taxable and at risk bucket. This is your 401k and traditional IRA. Every dollar here is exposed to market drops, and nearly every dollar you pull out will be taxed. Bucket number two is your tax free and secure bucket. This is your properly designed IUL. The money here is protected from market losses, and you can access it with tax free loans. Now, picture yourself in retirement. You need $100,000 for the year. If you pull all of that from your 401k, you might actually need to withdraw $125,000 or more just to end up with $100,000 after taxes, which drains your account way faster. But with a tax diversified strategy, you've got options. In a year where your income is low, maybe you pull from your 401k to take advantage of a lower tax bracket. But in a year where you have higher income, let's say from selling a rental property, you can take your income from your IUL bucket as a tax free policy loan. This move can keep you from getting bumped into higher tax bracket, and it gives you amazing control over your taxes in retirement. You can switch between the two buckets to keep more of your money over a 20 or 30-year retirement, so it puts the power back in your hands, not the IRS's. An indexed universal life policy is not a simple product. It's a sophisticated financial strategy that must be custom built for your specific goals, age, and financial situation. Getting the structure right is everything, and getting it wrong can be a very costly mistake. To help you with this, I have put together a free guide called the Top 5 Mistakes to Avoid When Setting Up a Tax Free IUL. It goes over the common pitfalls that can ruin the performance of these policies. You can download it for free using the link in the description. If you are already familiar with the basics and want to see what a personalized plan could look like for you, you can also use the link in the description to book a free, no obligation consultation with my team. We can run the numbers for you and help you decide if this strategy is a good fit for your financial future. Relying only on tax deferred accounts like 401ks is leaving millions of people exposed to market risk and a huge looming tax bill. But you don't have to follow the herd. By using a properly structured indexed universal life policy, you can build a source of wealth that gets the upside of market gains without the pain of the losses. It grows tax deferred, and most importantly, it gives you a source of tax free cash through policy loans that you control. This is about more than just saving money. It's about diversifying your tax risk and taking back control of your future. Stop letting your retirement savings be a sitting duck for Wall Street and the IRS. It's time to build your own private source of tax free cash. Click the link in the description to get the free guide or to book your complimentary consultation. Thanks for watching.